Welcome back to the channel, and this should be a simple video for us to do. We're just going to be making a 3D model using AutoCAD. So we're going to switch over to AutoCAD and get started. Now, AutoCAD 3D is very simple to use as long as you set it up correctly, and I will be discussing some of those things as we're going along here. So I'm first going to hit the sprocket here at the bottom, and I'll go to 3D modeling, which is going to change my ribbon at the top to get AutoCAD set up to do three-dimensional modeling. Alright, so with that done now, I'm just going to turn off the grid. I very rarely use the grid, so there's no need for me to have it here. So I'm just going to click this icon here at the bottom, and that should turn off the grid. And then we're going to turn on the ortho, and for some reason that's kind of one of the things that I like to work with, is having the orthographic views on. So that's going to be, and remember that you can also use the keyboard here, but that's a F8 function. And then you can take a look at what O snaps do I have turned on. So these are going to be the common ones that I'm going to use. Okay, so with AutoCAD, everything is exactly how it seems. You're going to sketch things. There is no special commands I'm trying to think of how I can place this. If you compare them to SolidWorks or Inventor, there's going to be no browser. So the biggest downfall of this program is that whatever I create is going to be stuck at that point. Meaning that if a hole size change or something of that nature, I have to do some other kind of work to do it. Now, AutoCAD has gotten better over the years of helping do that stuff, but in the beginning, it was hard. Like if I had a hole the wrong size, I had to cover that hole back up and then place another one. Here we do have some other stuff where we can do some press and pulls and some other things where we can recreate that shape. All right, let's go ahead and create this one. So I'm going to start off by creating a rectangle. I'll click here as my lower left corner, and then I'll type in the X and the Y dimensions that I'm going to need. So remember that I'm just going to type in 207.2, comma, 254. All right, I'm just going to give my middle mouse wheel a double click, and then there's going to be that rectangle that I need. Now I need to offset some lines here, or in our case, we're going to copy some lines. Just remember that this is a polygon, so it's all one shape. I'm going to use the extrude command, so I'm going to select it. Not extrude, I'm sorry, explode command. So I'm just going to explode this. And then I'll grab this bottom line here, and I'm going to use the copy command, right? So hopefully you are pretty advanced in using AutoCAD, and I don't mean super advanced, but you'll know I'm invoking some of these commands and not necessarily going up here to the ribbon and finding them. So I'm just going to use copy. So I'll select that line, type in CO, hit enter, pick a base point here, and then I'm going to go up. Now this is another reason why I have my ortho on. Now I'll just type in all of the numbers that I need. So I'm going to start off with 10, hit enter, 38, enter, 94.4, enter, 147.8, enter, 200.4, enter, 243.6, enter, and that should be all the lines I need going that direction, right? Now we're going to copy this line here, so I'm just going to use the copy command again, pick a base point here, and I'm just going to send it this direction, and then I'll start typing in all of my other numbers, right? So I have a 17.8, enter, I have 16, sorry, not 16, 60, I have 103.6, 147.2, 189.4, and that should be all the lines that I need for the top half, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and start off by creating my first circle here, right? So I'll use the circle center diameter command. I'm going to go right at this intersection here, and then I'm going to type in the diameter of this circle, which is going to be 8.4. All right, so now that I have that circle, I'm just going to copy this in multiple places. The copy command is located here. I'll go ahead and select that circle, hit enter, pick my base point, which is going to be directly in the center of that circle, and then I'll go ahead and start clicking my other points that I need. So I know I have a circle here at these two intersections, and then all the way here at the bottom. Okay, another shortcut command that you can use is that if I don't want to go through and keep changing circles, I can just keep selecting where I want these to be. So I have a circle here, and I have a circle here. And let's see, I have one here, here, and here. Okay, so these are all the circles that I need, right? I can go ahead and delete all of these lines now. So I'm just going to delete the ones on the inside here and the ones going from top to bottom here. Okay, so that has all of my circles. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a shortcut here. I'm just going to select these two circles that's going to be the same size. I'll do a right click. I'll go to the quick properties. And when the quick properties dialog box appears, I'm just going to change the diameter of that, right? So the diameter here is going to be 38.3. Once I hit enter, it's going to change those. I'll hit the escape button twice. Next, I'll come right down here in the middle, select these two, do a right click, go to quick properties. And then this is going to have a diameter of 23.2. So I'll go to the diameter, change this number to 23.2. Go ahead and hit enter. Now, here's one of those things that you have to make sure that you do when you're using AutoCAD 3D. If you're going to create a solid model, the most important thing you have to remember is that the profile, which is going to be these lines here, have to be a closed polyline, or it can be a region, or it can be, something else along that line, but it cannot be like a 3D face or something of that nature. So if you're creating a three-dimensional shape here in AutoCAD, remember that it typically has to be a closed profile, right? Meaning that these lines are 4 individual lines, so I have to join these lines together. And the join command is located, let's see, it should be on the modify here, and it should be located here. Or you can just type in J enter, right? So you want to make sure that this is a closed polyline. Circles are considered closed profiles or polylines, so you have to have a closed profile, and it has to be a solid one, right? This has to be a polyline. All right, so all of this is now done. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from the side profile, and I'll go ahead and select here on my view cube, and it should rotate my part around. And I know it's taking a little bit to digest. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how this is viewed. Rotates, you can see that that's the view of it. I'm going to select here underneath the 2D wireframe. And then I'm just going to change this to shades of gray. That way we can see everything as it happens. All right, now I'll go ahead and use the extrude command. Now, once again, you will see something different if it's not a closed polyline, right? So make sure that that is a closed polyline. You can see when I select one line on that, all of it light up, and that's what we want to happen. So I'm just going to select here, and I'm going to select all of these at the same time. Go ahead and hit the enter button. I'm going to send it going up or down, whatever the distance is, and in this case, it's going to be a height of 10. All right. Now I'm going to use the subtract command. So in here, I have to use the Boolean command. If you're using Inventor or SolidWorks, you have an extended cut for a SolidWorks, and in Inventor, you're going to be right underneath the extrude command because it has the cut function built inside of it. But here we have it separate. It's a Boolean operation. So I'm going to go to subtract. The way this works is that you're going to select the object you want to keep first. Go ahead and hit enter. And then you're going to select the objects that you want to subtract from it. So I'm just going to put a window around all of these objects, right? So you'll notice that I didn't enclose my major plate there, my big one. So once I hit the enter button, those holes should appear, and now we have created that three-dimensional solid. So if I take back a look on this on a three-dimensional look, you can see that I do have a three-dimensional solid of this one, right? So hopefully this was informative to you and you enjoyed watching this video. As always, keep drafting, and I'll see you in the next video.